I think one of the most interesting things is how we very often do not think about our future selves. And in that sense, a little bit funny, but we think of our future selves as a stranger. I believe that it's Atomic Habits, James Clear, if you want to take a peek at that fantastic book, where he talks about how we think about our future selves as a totally different person than who we are in the present. And so because of that, we treat them very differently. And I was at a conference recently where she had you talk to yourself, like your future self, talk to your current self, and she was like, what would your future self say to you? I thought that was really interesting because I am often very much thinking about my future self. And I started thinking about what are the gifts that I give my future self? And it's whatever I'm doing today. So as a designer, one of the biggest gifts I can give my future self is to design every day. You guys have heard me say that time and time again. On my Instagram feed, on this YouTube channel, on the podcast. It's because when we design every day, it actually does a lot of different things. And I don't know if I discuss it enough, all the different things that happen when you design every day. But just to name a few, number one, we get faster. So we're a more qualified designer because we're not trading as much time for money, right? So being fast is a really important part of being a designer, and that's a journey. That doesn't happen right away. It happens over time. So designing every day is really huge and a big part of that. Number two, it helps us build up volume of product, which we do need in order to become better. You know, one of the things that happens, those of us that are designing now at this stage in our life, those that are younger and going to school, that's a totally different thing. Part of the reason we send our students or our kids to a 4-year graphic design school is because during that time period, they produce a lot of product. When you think about all the courses they have to take, and for every one of their courses, they're probably doing a couple of projects every single week, okay? When you stack up that volume of product, what happens is when they get out of school, first of all, they have a portfolio, but second of all, they're able to say that they have made a lot of stuff. So they feel very proficient. You know, it is so interesting because I teach a lot of people between 40 and 65, and they want it to happen spontaneously. They want to be great designers in a couple of months or even a year. And we don't expect that of our 4-year degree students. We don't expect that of a regular designer. So I think it's very interesting that we expect of ourselves to be really good at design after 1 year of it. It is very, very hard to get the volume of design work in that is necessary to become a great designer in that kind of timeline, and especially in the timeline of, oh my gosh, 2 months or 1 month or 3 months. Like anyone who's telling you that you can be a great designer or that that's enough education, they are feeding you something crazy because it is not possible. It's just not. And so I try to be really realistic about it because it is hard, okay? It is hard, and that's okay. That's what separates great designers from ones that are just starting out. And the more you design, the more you're designing every single day, you're going to be able to get there, okay? The other reason I say we should design every day is that it is better to be doing a little bit of something than nothing at all, okay? So if you're just dreaming about being a designer, you're at a disadvantage. If you are sitting down in front of your computer or on your iPad and you're actually doing the drawing, actually building stuff, right? That is powerful. Even if you only do it for a minute a day, that is better than nothing at all, because there are lots of people out there dreaming of being a designer and they're literally not doing the work, not even a little bit of it, okay? And I know that you can take it to the next level with that. So one of the gifts that I like to give myself for future me is designing every day. I think I open up Illustrator or Photoshop or both every single day because I'm designing things not just for my shops these days, but for my new product lines coming out. I have lots of big announcements coming out, and I'm scared to tell you guys yet exactly what's going on, but we have a lot of crazy, amazing things going on. So we'll be rolling some of those things out in 2023 for you guys to hear what we're doing. But designing a lot, not only for my own product lines, but for my business, our handbooks, designing worksheets for my students, designing, oh my heavens, just so much stuff. All the icons you see on my website. I'm really in the details of that. And that's because I think it's important for me to be designing every day. It keeps up that skill. It helps me run into every issue. You know, one of the things we have in our design suite community is we actually have an Illustrator and Photoshop community. We also have a regular community where we all chat and hang out and talk about different things. But very often people will bring things and say, I'm running into this. And it's really easy for me to see, you know, what's wrong, what they've done in Illustrator that would fix it. Why? Because I have spent years in Illustrator. It literally comes from the process of experience. And so the gift I give my future self is to continue to design every day, to keep my volume of product up in my design business, and more than anything, giving myself the experience and knowledge today that will help me in the future. And I think that perspective is a very interesting thing, because when I said that, how did you feel? Did you feel like, you know what, that would be a great gift to give myself, versus, oh my gosh, the drudgery of having to do the work today? Because I think when you look at it from the perspective of, oh my heavens, this is amazing. This is something I could give myself, my future self, this experience, all this product sitting behind me. Then it suddenly, I think, becomes very exciting, more exciting than just being a designer. Being a designer as a career person, as someone who makes money, that to me is very exciting. And a lot of that has to do with perspective, knowing that what I'm doing today, it's not just about being fun. I think art and design, I think they are very, very fun. But there are also hard parts. Just like in any business, there are hard parts of a business. And I have chosen to embrace those hard parts. And I want you to too. Because when we embrace the hard parts of our business, what happens? We take it to the next level and other things become easier. So I want you to break down that wall, whatever it is for you, and start thinking about future you as a designer and what kind of gifts you can give that person. What does she want? What does she have that big dream, that big vision for? Because if you can identify that and she's living that already, then what you can do is you can reverse engineer that for yourself and say, these are the things I have to do today in order to be that woman or that designer tomorrow. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. And by the way, if you haven't heard, we do have a free workshop that you can get to at, I believe, CarinaGardnerCourses.com / I want to say free training. It might be free training, it might be free workshop. Just put that in. Come on over, grab it. I talk about the 3 secrets in the design industry you're not going to hear other people talking about. And here's the thing, there really are paradigm shifts, because I want you to know and believe that design can be for you, because I think it can be for anyone who's willing to do the step-by-step process. All right, guys, so glad to have you here, and I'll see you soon. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.